All right, race fans, welcome along to Madera Speedway on a beautiful August Saturday night as we get ready for a great evening of racing excitement here at the fastest 1/3 mile in the West. We have our modified Super Toyotas on the racetrack right now, 8 strong. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Outback Andy Foster. I'm Stephen Blakesley, excited to bring this racing to you. And Outback, why don't we go ahead and take a look at who we're going to have starting up in this modified Super Toyota race?
Yeah, we're going to start on the front row. Zachary Cook will start out position number 1. Good to see him back in the 18 car. Alongside him, it is the 24, and they're telling us tonight, DJ Lando.
Yeah, second row, we have the 11 of Dennis Brannon to his outside, the 21 with that little Y on there, Jim Roderick.
Row number 3, turn up the heat on this row. The 21 of Patrick Geiger and the 2017 MST champion, Madera Speedway, the 40S Dirtbird Stevens out of Crothers, starts out of position 6.
And the fourth row, the 10 of Sean Reynolds, and to his outside, the 33 of Ryan Reynolds. And I'm going to tell you right now that what we just announced is not a whole lot similar to what's on the racetrack. So this is Saturday Night Racing here, Modified Super Toyotas. And like I said, not exactly sure on this. This is what we were provided by our scoring staff. But what we see on the track is decidedly different, Outback.
Yeah, and, kudos to Ryan Reynolds' crew. Earlier in the heat race, the 33 pulled to the infield and early in the race, too. It looks like we're going to line these 221 cars, just waiting to see what they do now, bringing Dennis Brannon into line. That's the car that's out of line. So the 221s are going to start up front.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
They're going to put Dennis Brannon now moves to the front. So we're just waiting to see how they play this out.
Not quite sure what the game plan is. Looks like everybody that they had given us to be on the front row is actually all the way at the back. So they've done a little inversion here. So we're going to get them all crossed up. So that second row of Dennis Brannon and Jim Roderick ends up being the front row.
Yeah, it sure does. So the 11, it looks like we're trying to start the 11 on a Texas restart, although the 21 now pulls up aside, and that is Jim Roderick.
It is great to see such a great field of cars for this. 8 cars, and what's been a busy summer for these drivers. They're working their way out of turn number 4 through 5150 turn 4. We're Modified Super Toyota Racing here from Madera Speedway.
Yeah, good start side by side out of turn 4. Of course, those cones as you come out of turn 4, you got to be level. And one car's backtracking. That looks like the 40S of Bert Stevens. Bert was kind of backtracking. That allowed Sean Reynolds. Now, Sean has been on a tear in that 10 car. Ryan's been the standout of the brothers. Sean's coming back from a race accident last year where he broke a leg down the backstretch and going to turn 1, actually.
Well, we just went 3 wide back there as Roderick, who was our front row starter, has already fallen back to 6th place. And it was this battle that we just see there on the screen. They were side by side going 3 wide to get around Roderick, as now Bert Stevens gets a little dirt track sideways there. And, it's bad news for the field out back because the Reynolds brothers are 3rd and 4th already here early on lap number 3.
Yes, Alan. It's a better run, though, for the 11, Dennis Brannon. This is a better run than Dennis has had going. Dennis had a kind of a very tough season in that 11 car, but tonight is making some ground on that 11. As Sean Reynolds tried to get past Patrick Geiger, Geiger shut the gate. Of course, these are effectively team cars, the 3 lead cars of Geiger and the 2 Reynolds brothers. Now Ryan Reynolds, the rocket, goes upstairs trying to find a way past. And Geiger is having the Reynolds brothers attacking from both sides.
Yeah, look at this. We're just about 3 wide for the second spot. And, the 11 of Dennis Brannon, your race leader, really hasn't pulled away a whole lot. So I think this trio has got some hot rods tonight. We'll see if the number 10 can try to get a run. Sean Reynolds on the inside, and slingshot move on the outside there from Ryan Reynolds. Whoa, look out. Here we go. The 10's got him run there up the inside. Sean Reynolds is going for it.
Yeah, Sean Reynolds going for it now. Ryan Reynolds gets past Patrick Geiger. Looks like Bert Stevens may have found something in that 40 car all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's going to try to follow those guys through here. So both of the 21 cars are going to have fallen back here early on in this race as they go side by side. Bert Stevens. Remember, there's a little bit of a history between these 2 guys in the past here as they go side by side down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and a bit of history too with that 24 that's coming up on the 21. A few weeks ago they got together and Patrick Geiger got upside down.
Hey,
right
Sean
on
Reynolds has
both
taken
Reynolds
the
now,
lead.
2 for 1. Both
Yeah.
Reynolds brothers. So Sean trying to shoot for another race win here. This will be pretty interesting how this eventuates.
Well, Ryan Reynolds jumped out with the early points lead, and Sean Reynolds has been kind of on the comeback trail, if you will, trying to reel in his brother. And right now, he's got the better of his points-leading brother here as they work their way down the back straightaway, but we got a long way to go.
We have got a long way to go, and this is still the best run of the season for Dennis Brannon. Back in third in that number 11 car.
So cool to see this field of modified Super Toyotas. We've had modified Super Toyotas here at Madera Speedway for many, many years out back, and they keep on coming back stronger than ever. And like we said, it's been a hot summer, lots of racing, and we still have 8 cars on the track, on the racetrack right now, and they're putting on a good little show. And the Reynolds brothers, things are starting to tighten up at the front.
Yes, they are starting to tighten up at the front. As Sean has about a 2-car length lead over brother Ryan the Rocket Reynolds. Both these guys equally prepared. They're equally as fast as each other. And these are the former Herzog cars that Tyler Herzog and his father, Daryl, used to race.
Well, we'll see Tyler later on today.
We'll see Tyler and the 24 car, DJ Landers, has gone to the infield.
Well, that's a good shot there of him trying to get back on the track. He was battling for 5th with the 21 car of Geiger, and now he'll make it back on the track all the way at the rear of the field. And we've got a trio of 2-car battles throughout this race, but the best ones at the front right now is the Reynolds brothers, and then there's the battle for 3rd, and then behind these guys we had the battle for 5th. So there's been battling going on everywhere, but we're going to keep an eye on this battle for 3rd out back.
Yes, we are. Dennis Brannon, like I said, the best race of the season thus far for him. And the 2017 champ, who has really struggled, kind of thought he found something last race.
Oh, they make contact.
Yeah, they are making contact. Looks like Dirtbert Stevens is trying to move along Dennis Brannon. He says, come on, we got to get going because if I have any hope of catching those boys, I need to get by you. I don't think that Bert has anything in the tank tonight to run with these potent Reynolds brothers.
Well, their best lap times have been in the 16.6s and the 16.7s. Dirtbert Stevens, his best lap, 16.9. So he's still giving up about 2/10 on these guys, and right now he's still giving up more because he's got to deal with that 11 of Brannon. And there's been a couple of incidents in this series this year, and I know that our race directors and our promoter, Kenny Shepard, have been pretty hard on these guys to try to cut down on the contact a little bit. And I wonder, whoa, that was all the 11 of Brannon that time.
Sideways. Now, Brannon got sideways, pulled it across in front of the 40 of Stevens as we got Patrick Geiger trying to race his way back to a
Well,
third
he fell
spot.
like a rock to the back, and this is, he didn't get to run last week, so really this is a comeback drive for Geiger. He fell on the start as lap traffic starting to enter the fray here.
That's Roderick that they're catching first up. So the Reynolds brothers safely by. In front of him now, DJ Lander. So Sean, I think this is going to be the 3rd, maybe even the 4th win in a row.
Oh, hey, we still have 10 laps to go. I don't give him anything yet out back as they work their way down the back straightaway. Again, it looked like there might have been a little contact,
I think
perhaps.
there's going to be a lot more contact before this race is done, Stephen Blake.
This battle for 3rd, Dennis Brannon and Dirtbert Stevens, and Patrick Geiger's got a front row seat. He's got the popcorn and the 3D glasses on. He's enjoying this one because if they screw it up, it could go in his favor.
Well, Geiger caught up, and when they started beating and banging, it looked like Geiger dropped back a little bit. So here we go. Dirtbert Stevens, you can see, he's putting that front bumper on the rear bumper of Dennis Brannon. Brannon was faster out of turn 4 than Dirtbert Stevens was. He sort of got it all over Bert out, but Bert's faster going into the turn. But unfortunately, there's not enough room because Brannon cuts right across in front of him. Brannon won't want to do that too many times to Bert Stevens, otherwise Bert's going to give him a wheel here.
Well, in these lower horsepower cars here at Madera Speedway, this is a pretty big track for these guys when they're running 16 and 17-second laps. And what Brandon's doing is he's sort of running down the middle of the straightaway. You just cannot open up the see right there. He kind of cut the exit off. And what that does is makes it really hard to pass, but also costs him his lap time. And so it's allowing the top 2 to really pull away.
Yeah, we saw Geiger, catch up to him and then had to back out of it. And it took Geiger, 3 or 4 laps to try and get back to these guys.
5 to go. 5 to go, and they're side by side for 3rd. While up front, Sean Reynolds has pulled away by 3 car lengths on his brother here. But we're battling it out here for the third spot as they work their way down the back straightaway.
Keep an eye on that driver from Carruthers, see if he's going to move that 11 out of the way. He may do. Oh, here we go.
Oh, man.
Gets into Brannon and tags Brannon. That'll bring out a caution.
Man, one of those times where I like to say that I'm glad I'm not an official, because like we said, the 11, he was taking that really tight exit out of the corner out back, and so undoubtedly he was sort of turning left there, but he had another car there, so that's a tough call. That's tough.
Cutting down on Burt, and I realized the frustration from. You can see the damage.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that damage was already there or if that's new.
No, that's some new damage. That is some new damage.
That's a pretty significant impact.
Yeah, these guys, it's just light aluminum there, so it doesn't take much to bend them. You get back in the pit, you pull it out by hand. But, yeah.
Well, it kind of looks like Dirt Bert's already starting to drop back to the rear. And what I think is also interesting is that's going to put our driver that started this race in third, Patrick Geiger, back up into third, and makes you wonder if he has anything deep down in the tank to try to go after the Reynolds brothers. They're going to have 4 laps to go.
4 laps. Sean Reynolds, like I said, been the standout this season over his brother. Well, this middle part of the season. Ryan was super fast early in the season, super fast last year. And, I don't think they'll get into each other too much. I think that's pretty safe. Geiger now would be loving this because that moves Geiger up to third.
Great shot of our field going into RPM turn 3.
Dennis Brandon looks like, Dennis believes he's going to get his spot back here.
Man,
I think the officials may decide. Otherwise, we'll wait and see.
Well, we do pull the lap cars out, so that kind of affects where the 11 is going to be and where the 40 is going to be. Because the 24 of Lander and the 21 Wyatt of Roderick are both a lap down. So we'll see what they decide to do here.
Probably get the lucky dog and be back on
see.
the lead lap. So, Brown's going to start second last. Burt will get to start way down the back.
Oh, it sounds like we're going to have a replay.
Pull up a replay.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a replay of what happened here, and let's see here. So the 11 car of Brandon opens up the bottom just a little bit. Oh, it looks like Burt shoved up the nose. Oh, man.
Gets into Brandon a little bit. So, no good pull by the officials.
We'll take a look at this again. As right about here, when they get back on the gas, you could see how Brandon really picked up, got a little sideways there, and Dirt Burt picked up. And this is a unusual start. The green lights stay on, and the 33 car is in trouble.
It's broke again, same as the heat race.
Boy, and this makes me want to think about the points because he's had a couple of races with issues now, and what a great battle going on and back through the field. And I'm not sure where these guys rank because on our scoring, we still show Lander a lap down, but he swooped around the outside of Geiger and taken over second. This is all of a sudden a rather interesting race here as there's that battle that could be for second if Lander is on the lead lap, but our scoring shows that he is not.
And they're saying DJ Lander. DJ hasn't done many races this year as Ryan Reynolds pulls that car to the infield. That's the second time tonight as we got Burt Stevens going to racing the inside as Zachary Cook.
White flag, final time for the 10 of Sean Reynolds, and it's a scramble behind him. And it's all going to be unofficial until we find out for sure at the end of this whole thing. But right now, Reynolds leading Geiger side by side behind them. But here he comes through RPM Mortgage, turn number 3.
Yeah, Sean Reynolds is going to pick up another race win. Sean Reynolds, that's 3 or 4 in a row for Sean Reynolds. Second will go to DJ Lander.
Unofficially.
Yep, and then we'll give it to Patrick Geiger, followed by, they say, Burt Stevens.
Yeah, that was pretty
5th.
Pretty intense there, and Zach Cook in the mix as well. Our colleague Outback Andy Foster is going to go down trackside, and he'll help us sort out the rundown. But we do know one thing. The number 10 car triumphant again here at Madera Speedway. The 10 car, Sean Reynolds, gets the job done. And he's really picking it up strong here in the second half of 2018.
50 Energy Drink is the choice for those with a passion for life and a thirst to match. There are many obstacles in life that keep people from pursuing their dreams. But when you're 5150, you're able to use those hardships as motivation to push yourself. With the right mindset, anyone can achieve greatness. And 5150 can help get you there, offering much more than just a boost of energy. Our ingredients are carefully selected because of their health benefits. So not only does 5150 taste great, it also provides the body with the nutrients it needs to stay hydrated and energized. Our mission to provide a quality product is matched only by our commitment to making the world a better place. In partnership with the Carlos Vieira Foundation, efforts are made year-round to help the less fortunate. In fact, a portion of every can sold goes toward helping families that are living with autism. And at the heart of it all is passion. The passion to live life to its fullest, to chase your dreams, and to help others. Are you 5150?
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series at the Madera Speedway.
It's time to go down trackside to Nice Ride, Victory Lane. It was one nice ride for the 10 car, Sean Reynolds. Let's throw it down to Outback Andy Foster.
Down here in Victory Lane for the MST main event tonight, the comeback kid after that horrific race accident in Turn 1 last year, Sean Reynolds. This is 3 in a row tonight. Your brother was very, very fast early in the year. You're smiling as, man, oh man, this middle part of the season, you have been very fast in this this number 10 car.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we got the car dialed in. It's honestly on rails. I couldn't ask for a better setup from Kim Coventry. I hope Donnie Large is doing okay. Congratulations to everybody else. Had a great race. I'd like to thank my sponsors, KMA Fabrication, Product 41, Leap Performance, and Herzog Roofing.
You great job again tonight, and that's helping your points battle too.
Yeah, hopefully I captured number 2 in the points position after this race.
Sean Reynolds in an awesome drive again tonight, picking up win number 3 in a row here at Madera Speedway. Back to the booth. Well, it's been a few races since we've seen DJ Landers in this car. Of course, Dad stepped out tonight, let you run this car tonight. Man, oh man, come back, you get second place. That's a great night of racing for you.
Oh, yeah, no, it was a great night of racing. Coming back from a lap down, getting the lucky dog and everything, just goes to show that if you can stay patient and, just bide your time, you'll get up here eventually.
Hopefully we'll see you run a few more races this year.
I absolutely hope so. My car is at home. Hopefully we'll finish rebuilding it, and then me and my dad will both be out here racing together again.
That'd be cool to see DJ Lander back in a car full-time here in Madera. Solid second place tonight. Back to Kenny in the booth.
Comebacks are the theme of this entire top 3. And we're going to get to hear from another driver that had a nice little comeback run through the field with that 21 of Patrick Geiger here in just a moment. As we can see our Hobby Stocks and Legends cars are getting ready for their main events, and it looks like Outback is ready down there in Victory Lane with our 3rd place finisher, the driver of the 21 car, Patrick Geiger, who leapfrogged his way up to 3rd, and we'll see if Outback Andy is ready down there in Victory Lane.
Well, 3rd place tonight, we're going to tab him the bad boy of the MSTs, coming back after sitting a race out. And more importantly, you got upside down right on the start and finish line. How about it tonight, Patrick Geiger? A new paint scheme for this car as well, and looking good, mate.
It's actually my backup car. I had my my crew chief driving my number 1 car, and I think he did a real good job. But I wanted to get this one ready so that way they're both the same. They both run the same speed, so that's where we're at with that. So.
And these Reynolds boys have been pretty quick of late. So, yeah, having a backup car is always a good thing too, huh?
Yeah. For Ryan, or tonight, he blew his transmission, and that's kind of why we have a backup just in case something like that happens in practice or something. So,
solid run tonight for Patrick Geiger, 3rd place in the MST. So 3rd place to Patrick Geiger, 2nd to DJ Lander, and the win going to Sean Reynolds. Back to Kenny in the booth.
Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases from now on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases
Since 1960, A.V. Thomas Produce has been growing sweet potatoes in the sandy soils of Livingston, California. This family-owned and operated business takes pride in growing the best organic sweet potatoes in the world. That's why when we decided to create an energy drink with one of the world's superfoods, there was no question who to talk to. Sweet potatoes are packed with vitamins and nutrients essential to daily life. Introducing 5150's organic line of drinks. With the delicious flavors of strawberry and banana, plus the nutritional benefits of the sweet potato. 5150 Organic Energy Drink, providing your body with the energy and health it needs.
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series at the Madera Speedway.
Well, from one exciting event to what should be another one here, as it's the Madera Hobby Stocks lining up showbiz style down the front stretch here at the Madera Speedway in Outback Andy Foster. I'm sure you had a pretty happy victory lane down there after the MST race. What I wanted to ask you is, it's been a hot day. A lot of guys were dealing with their cars being really loose, really tough to handle. How did it feel down there? What's the temperature like? What's the track feel like? Is it still pretty warm out there?
It's actually really hot, and it feels a little humid down there too. So it just doesn't feel like a dry Madera heat. It's a little different tonight. So, it's difficult for the guys inside the cars, and they'll, as we get on, especially with the PCS late models coming up, those cars are going to be even hotter inside than the guys with the modifieds that have a lot more airflow. So for those modified guys, that's fine. We're going to turn our attention shortly to some hobby stocks, and we know those cars will get hot inside as well.
Absolutely, and they've been putting on some hot racing, and really looking forward to seeing who can come out on top, because I would say this is a rather wide open field, and we'll probably take this opportunity as we get ready to roll these cars here in just a moment to tell you that not only are there cars in this race, there's also a truck in this race as well.
There is trucks in this, and what I like about this division too is you get some older cars like that Pontiac of Jesus Hernandez. You get some cars with the late model bodywork on them. You get some fabricated cars, so you can be really creative in this hobby stock division and create something totally different. Let's go with the lineup, Stephen Blakely.
Yeah, so we'll start off on the pole, the 29 car with that Chevrolet Camaro body on it. Ivan Skorzer, and to his outside, the former K&N West Series driver, the 0 car, Jesus Hernandez.
Row 2, the 07, that is Thomas Suarez. Alongside Thomas Suarez, ho-ho, no, it's not Christmas, it's Howard Holden.
Row 3, the guy that's been dynamite this year, they call him Super Steve Schermerhorn.
Yeah, and alongside Steve Schermerhorn is the number 25, Chuck Dozier.
And then we're going trucking here. It's throw it down and trucking at the back there with the 17 of Craig Tatum. And he's going to try to figure out a way to get a convoy and work his way to the front of the field here as we get set to go. It says on our printout here 35 laps. So we'll see if that's the case. Possibly 30 for this group. Either way, it's plenty of time for there to be some racing. I think the dangerous thing is putting Jesus Hernandez on the outside of the front row, because all those guys deeper in the order are going to have some work to do to get to him.
Yeah, you are going to have some work to get to him, I tell you what. And like Jesus Hernandez, having him up front, I'm worried, though, because that car tends to burn tires off it, that big, heavy car. I know Kenny Shepard, that's his favorite car in this whole division. Straight up, he loves that car. And, you know, Jesus is a great driver, but Jesus has to keep the tires under him tonight. And you've got guys like Schimmerhorn who will probably manage the tires. And, of course, Howard Holden, with all his experience, you'd expect Howard to manage the tires on that car. And Thomas Suarez is just a young guy who's coming through, learning the craft of hobby stock racing.
Well, we have the lights going off, so Ivan Scorzer and Jesus Hernandez going to bring him down. We had a rather similar car to that Zero at Roseville for many years that was a Dodge, of all things, in the street stock class. But this is the hobby stocks, and that one's a Pontiac. It's an all General Motors field as we go green into turn number 1. And Jesus Hernandez is on the loud pedal, and he's going to do that slingshot move out of turn 2 and take the lead.
Yes, he is. Ivan Scorzer holding tough on the inside. Howard Holden up on the high line. And look at Scosa. This is only the second race we've seen from Scosa in that new car that he's running. And look at the 25 car already, Stephen Blakeslee. That is trouble for these guys because that 25 of Chuck Dozier, he is coming. And we know that's a race-winning, very fast car.
Yeah, he doesn't run all the races, just like Howard Holden, that when they do, it's look out, and it forces guys like Steve Schermerhorn and Jesus Hernandez to really raise their game. And right now, Schermerhorn, although he was right there second in qualifying, he's currently mired in the 5th spot here. Beautiful shot of that beautiful sunset in turns 3 and 4. Top 3 cars have broken away on the field.
Yes, they have. Hernandez, Holden, and the 25 of Chuck Dozier. Of course, that's the Philpott's race cars entry, and that car is all tuned up by Ryan Philpott. So, you know, this guy is a great driver, and he has a great crew chief tonight in Ryan Philpott helping him out.
Well, a pair of 3-car battles there, and Schermerhorn's going to move up to 4th, but now he's got to put his head down and make up about a 10-car length disadvantage, if you will. There's the difference back there to Schermerhorn. And I think the intensity level is going to start to pick up as these guys are going to want to get around Hernandez before Schermerhorn makes it up to this trio.
Yeah, I'm sure Howard Holden can see that 25 in his rearview mirror, and Howard knows from racing that car before that is trouble. He has to find a way past Jesus Hernandez. It's a 3-car battle up front. Hernandez bumping and banging on the back of that Pontiac. Howard Holden, although fast out of the turn 2 was Jesus Hernandez, and the 41 Howard Holden closes it up.
You know, they're running lap times as low as 16.2, and on a hot night, really not that far off from what our Madera late models and our RPM Pro late models can do, but these cars weigh a lot more. As you see, look at Ho-Ho just trying to edge forward there. On our scoring computer, it does say we're going to go 35, so 8 down, 27 to go. And so far, you know what? Steve Schermerhorn really hasn't picked up a lot of ground on these guys at all. In fact, on the last lap, he gave up 0.2 of a second. Is problems for the truck. We're not really trucking too well anymore for Craig Tatum.
Yeah, Craig
Tatum. That's
Tatum.
right in front of your leaders.
Yeah, Craig Tatum is going to pull that car to the infield down the back. Our leaders are safely by that truck that is making its way to the infield. And we've seen that truck blow a transmission a couple of weeks ago here at Madera Speedway. So problems again for that truck, and Howard is really starting to monster. He knows he's got to loosen up that big 0 car, because if you can loosen up Jesus Hernandez, you can cause Jesus to heat them tires up a whole bunch more than they currently are. And the other problem, too, for Howard Holden, he has the 25 car that's putting the muscle on him.
Well, the way that the 0 car is shoving the nose there, coming out of 3 and 4 with still 24 to go, I can't see how he'd be able to do that 24 more times out of turn 4. There's no way Ho-Ho's going to let him get away with that 24 more trips around Madera Speedway, make it 23 this time.
Fully agree with you, sir. Fully agree with you. But the run out of the turn, see, coming in the turn, Ho-Ho now sticks his nose in there. They are side by side, puts Hernandez to the outside where it's a little loose up there.
They did give lap 13 to Hernandez, however, but Holden's got it. And you could see how Howard Holden's brake rotors were glowing. He was doing all he could.
He's hard on the brakes going the turn. You can see that left-hand brake is heating up. Now you have to be careful here with the brakes on these cars. These cars, you'll heat them up. You'll start to boil the calipers. And Hernandez gets it back around the outside. of Howard Holden.
Oh, and he comes down the racetrack in front
and
of him.
Howard's got him loose, sliding all over the racetrack, side by side. What great hobby stock racing.
And Hernandez is back up front.
In the meantime, Steve Schimmelhorn is coming as well.
Well, Dozier went up high that time and 1 and 2. I wonder if he just saw what Hernandez did and said, wait,
the brakes again.
Maybe anything you can do, I can do better. I think Howard Holden used up the brakes, trying not to run into the zero.
Yeah.
And in the process, he hit up the tires, and he's sliding around now.
Here's going to be the problem for Howard Holden. The longer this race goes, you jump into the turn, you put your foot on the brake, you're going to have to give yourself more room between the zero because the brakes aren't going to be as effective.
Well, so, Steve Schermerhorn is right there, Outback. So the urgency has got to pick up for Ho-Ho here, and you can see that. He's right on top of him.
We talk about how competitive this division is. Let's talk about drivers. Jesus Hernandez, former K&N racer. Howard Holden, former track champion. We know the 25 car, great driver, Chuck Dozier. But how about Steve Schimmelhorn?
Points leader.
Yep, Steve Schimmelhorn. Steve came from the Enduro division where he was just running around averagely Enduro for many, many years. And decided, maybe I'm going to try and further my career a little bit, my racing. So he went up to hobby stock. The Enduro car wasn't, as effective. Slowly he worked on that car, got it faster and faster. Got a better motor, spin around.
Well, Howard Holden couldn't wait any longer. The pace had really picked up on the top three. They had actually pulled away from Schermerhorn again here on lap number 19, and they make contact.
I would say possibly Howard's going to go to the back. We saw that in the MST. So getting back to Steve Schimmelhorn, Steve, he got the hobby stock better and better coming from Enduro. Had never won a race to that point. Has the opportunity to buy the car from Eloy Bazan, which is wrenched by the Aguirre team, Chuck Aguirre. And Eloy was moving on to late models. Picked that car up, worked on it, found victory lane. Now he keeps finding victory lane. We always say the first race is the hardest to win. And Howard Holden indeed going to go to the back this time with Jesus Hernandez. So, not only do we have a mixture of cars, we've got a mixture of drivers. Howard Holden is a late model racer. You've got Steve Schimmelhorn that's come from the Enduros. You've got Chuck Dozier and Scotia, and all these guys came from an older hobby stock type car. So it's kind of cool the way we've been breeding the drivers, and then we've been moving drivers from our hobby stock division up to our late models. So it's kind of a feeder to our late models as well.
Well, our top two in qualifying are going to be the top two on the racetrack, and this is the opportunity for Steve Schermerhorn. You can't get it a whole lot better than that because it's going to be mano a mano with Chuck Dozier with 16 laps to go, and this is, really
effective.
no excuses. We're going to get a replay here of Howard Holden coming up the inside of the zero. And, the zero was giving out just a little bit there, but Holden probably just wasn't far enough alongside of him to keep his nose in there.
Look at the brakes glowing. I think Howard got in there, went to get on the brakes, and just misjudged it how far that car was going. The brakes were not as effective. So when Howard was applying the brakes, they weren't as effective, and I can bet you that's what happened in that incident.
Well, we're crossing them up here. Dozier's going to be on the inside for the restart alongside the 4 car of Schermerhorn. Like I said, for Schermerhorn, this is exactly where you want to be. At least you're going to have a mano shot at Dozier here to go for another victory, but Dozier's been so stout this evening, and we go back to green here, 19 down, 16 to go.
Yeah, Schermerhorn decides, let's go single file here. Let's try and work that 25 car over. Here's the 07 now. That's got some damage to the front of it. The Thomas Suarez car, too.
That's kind of interesting, and I'm not sure when that happened.
I think that happened with Scotia. We missed it off camera because he was back there fighting it out with Ivan Scotia. In fact, he was behind Scotia. So,
well, Dozier is pulled away by 3 car lengths, and right now Suarez is keeping them honest, and Suarez is a rather experienced driver, runs in our Pro A model class here and there, and, he's got a rabbit to chase there with Schermerhorn, so he was able to run with him for a lap or two, but now Schermerhorn starts to pull away, and here comes Hernandez trying to go up to 3rd.
In our local shows, you'll often see Thomas Suarez get better as the race goes on too, Stephen Blakeslee. So that car seems to get faster as the race goes on.
Wow, the outside's not very good here today.
Yep.
And so Hernandez went up. I think that was a solo spin. Hard to tell from that angle.
Solo spin from young Thomas Suarez. Suarez keeps going Scotia to the infield, and we keep going green here, Stephen Blakeslee.
Well, and that's bad news for 3rd place Howard Holden because That just cost him a lot of real estate on the top two. And our top two just ran their best laps of the race on lap 23. Holden just ran the best lap of the entire race here on lap 24 with open racetrack. So he's doing what he can, but time's running out as we've got 10 laps to go.
We have 10 laps to go, and a driver we haven't seen a lot of this year, Chuck Dozier, in that Philbots race car's entry.
Ooh, Howard Holden just ran a 16.1, which is almost 0.2 quicker than the fastest car in qualifying. So he's definitely doing what he can. And you know what? Suarez is still fighting that car, and he's fighting it right in front of your leaders, and this might tighten things up here, Outback.
Yes, it might tighten things up as we get going down the back. Dozier now has got to try and find a way past that 0.7, and that is good news to Steve Schimmelhorn, because if that 0.7 holds up Chuck Dozier, Schimmelhorn is right in there. Chuck Dozier with a burst of speed around the outside of Thomas Suarez, getting that done oh so easy. What will Steve Schimmelhorn do? He's seen how the 25 car got it done, and the 0.7 again, very, very loose. Steve Schimmelhorn needs to get around because Howard's coming.
Everybody's been fighting for grip out of turn 4 today. That's been in all of our divisions, but it was really apparent there for Schimmelhorn. And Howard Holden, I think, has a shot to go second here with 6 to go. And Josh is letting the 0.7 car of Suarez know to let Holden go. But they're racing hard right there, and that's going to cost Holden a lot of time.
Yes,
they
it is.
battled there, and the top two have pulled away.
The Fortney towing entry of Steve Schimmelhorn now trying to track down the 25 car. It's going to be a tough mission tonight. I know Steve will be even happy with a second place tonight. Howard Holden has got passed down the back off camera, Steve Batesy, by Jesus Hernandez.
Yeah, but, and Holden's got a problem. Howard Holden's got a problem. He stopped in Hoosier Tire turn 4, and now if we go caution here, which it looks like we're
going caution.
You know who benefits from this is the 0 of Hernandez. It's going to have 4 laps to see how far he can get. As you can see on this shot, he's going to restart in 3rd. But as for Schimmelhorn, he had been a little bit outfoxed there by Chuck Dozier. So,
yeah, Howard Holden, that 41 car, great camera shot there.
You know, I see the way that they wrote Sheldon Cooper's name on Howard Holden's car. They wrote Dirty Boy Cooper. So I wonder if we have to start calling him Dirty Boy in the RPM races.
Maybe we'll do that.
That's a new one for me. I'm not sure what's going on with Holden's car.
Yeah, no, Howard's pulling to the infield.
I thought maybe it was a flat tire, but I also had a theory that he lost brakes, perhaps.
Something went on down there.
Because he just sort of went up the hill and went, I got to shut this down.
Is
because,
it the right front that's going soft on that car?
It's hard to tell.
The crew's gone down there, and they're talking to Howard, but nothing much is going on. So we're going back to green here.
And Suarez is throwing in the towels. It's going to be a 3-car race for 4 laps. And here comes Hernandez up the inside of Schimmelhorn for second.
What this has done, Jesus has cooled his tires, and that caution period has helped Jesus as well. So this is going to be a battle. I think Chuck Dozier will win this thing. It's the sideways dirt tracking, enduro-style racing sideways from Steve Schimmelhorn. And, Steve, he used to get sideways in the enduro car, so he knows how to get a car back on the racing line.
Well, look at that beautiful sky. It's been a beautiful night for the 25 of Dozier. 2 more trips around the fastest 1/3 mile in the West to win the hobby stocks here on a Saturday night.
Less than 2/3 of a mile to go now for Chuck Dozier, the 4. That 14 towing entry of Steve Schimmelhorn. One last charge coming up from that 0 of Jesus Hernandez. That all Pontiac, see if he can get that car up to second place on the racetrack. He is running hard down here. We go down into 3. Let's see what happens. Dozier's the leader into 3. Here we go, Stephen. We got Schimmelhorn on the inside. I think Steve is safe because he pulled that car down low. Dozier will go on to win.
Chuck Dozier goes on to win on the 4-car Steve Schimmelhorn and the 0 of Jesus Hernandez. Looks like Outback Andy wants to go down and talk to these guys, so we're going to let him do that. So our top 3 drivers are going to be greeted by the Australian Outback Andy Foster here in just a few moments. And we're going to take a commercial break here from Madera Speedway, and we will return with our top 3 finishers of the Madera Hobby Stocks here from Madera Speedway in Madera, California.
Work, live, play. 5150.
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series at the Madera Speedway.
Time with friends, family, memories being made. We live life for the amazing moments. We live by the motto that life is one nice ride. Nice Ride Lifestyle Apparel.
Well, talk about right place, right time for this guy. Great performance today by the 25 of Chuck Dozier, and he's standing by with Outback Andy Foster in victory lane.
Tonight's Hobby Stock winner, the driver of the 25 car. Good to have him back in victory lane, Chuck Dozier. I see Ryan Philpott's around here, hanging around over there, setting the car up for you tonight. I think that made the difference. Both you and Steve Schimmerhorn had to go to the back of come from the back tonight. So I know Steve came over and congratulated and said, hey, we started up the back. We did it first and second, but what a great victory tonight in this NorCal full service car.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was fun. I got kind of lucky. Our outside row, we kind of got the fast row, so I knew we were going to get up towards the front. Racing with those three guys was lots of fun. I didn't mean to get into Howard a couple of times down there, but we were all bunched up, so he kept a hold of it.
Yeah, it was some great racing. We were saying that Howard's brakes were glowing red, so I know he was having brake problems. But you got all the family in here. Brian Philpott's hanging out over there, so what a great night of racing for you.
Absolutely, yeah. I just want to thank Ryan and Junior and my wife and my family for supporting me do this, and NorCal Poles and Philpott Race Cars.
Good to see Chuck Dozier back in victory lane at Madera Speedway. Back to Stephen Blakeslee in the booth.
Thanks for that, Outback Andy Foster. And looks like a pretty excited victory lane. All the crew down there, even the 5150 girls were enjoying that interview. And I think this is going to be a bittersweet second place for Steve Schimmerhorn here. Obviously, he's been on a roll as of late, but he extends that points lead here in the Madera Hobby Stocks. And Outback Andy Foster is standing by with the guy we call Super Steve Schimmerhorn.
Second place tonight. This guy's been in victory lane a lot lately. It's been race wins, but tonight is second place, and a hard-fought second place in the back tonight, Steve Schimmerhorn. I know you went over and told Chuck, great racing. You guys did it hard from the back tonight. There was some great competition.
Yeah, I qualified second. Chuck was on a pole. We had a full invert, so we had to start at the back. I had to earn that second place. It definitely wasn't easy with Holden and Philpott or Dozier and Jesus, all these guys, Suarez. It's not easy out here. There's a lot of competition.
Since you picked up this guy from Eloy Bazan, your whole career in hobby stocks has changed, and we see you on the podium all the time now. So, again, great race tonight, and congratulations, second place.
Thank you. Just try to stay consistent. That's the main thing. I'm not the fastest car, but we're getting there.
Hey, if you're out there, you've got a company and you want to put your name on the car, come along and see Schimmerhorn. He's a budget racer, doing it good, second place. Another consistent run back to Stephen Blakeslee.
Well, like we've talked about, it's sure been great to see Steve Schimmerhorn do so well here at Madera Speedway in 2018 in the Madera Hobby Stock Division. And a well-deserved second place finish here is Our little Legends cars are getting ready to go to race. But first, we still got one more driver to speak with, and that's the guy that had that big old Pontiac roll on the outside here tonight. Kenny Shepard's favorite car here in the pits, the 0 car of Jesus Hernandez, and he's standing by with Outback Andy.
And Victor Lane with third place tonight. He's got the nice ride hat on. Jesus Hernandez, you had a nice ride going tonight. Unfortunately, how it got into you, his brakes were going away. They were glowing red and just touched you, and both you guys had to go to the back. But man, oh man, you were turning on this old Pontiac up front tonight.
Yeah, it was holding its own out front. I'll go chat with Howard here in a minute and figure out, what happened there. But obviously that's not how we want to end up a night. But hopefully it's all in one piece, and we'll be back out here try it again.
Yeah, good to see you. Another solid points night for you as well in this third place tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Jesus Hernandez, of course, he's a former K&N racer as well. Back to Stephen Blakeslee in the booth. Great third place tonight for Jesus Hernandez.
Well, it's been an awesome night of racing here at Madera Speedway, and we still have 2 great main events to go with the Legends of the Pacific and the Pacific Challenge Series. So if you thought what we saw so far has been great, that's been kind of the appetizer. We have the main courses coming up in just a few moments here from Madera Speedway. 110 laps of racing left to go. I want to thank you all for tuning in, taking a look at this, and we're really looking forward to a 17-car main event for the Legends cars coming up here at the fastest 1/3 mile in the West.
5150 Energy Drink is the choice for those with a passion for life and a thirst to match. There are many obstacles in life that keep people from pursuing their dreams. But when you're 5150, you're able to use those hardships as motivation to push yourself. With the right mindset, anyone can achieve greatness, and 5150 can help get you there, offering much more than just a boost of energy. Our ingredients are carefully selected because of their health benefits. So not only does 5150 taste great, it also provides the body with the nutrients it needs to stay hydrated and energized. Our mission to provide a quality product is matched only by our commitment to making the world a better place. In partnership with the Carlos Vieira Foundation, efforts are made year-round to help the less fortunate. In fact, a portion of every can sold goes toward helping families that are living with autism. And at the heart of it all is passion. The passion to live life to its fullest, to chase your dreams, and to help others. Are you 5150?
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series at the Madera Speedway.
Time with friends, family, memories being made. We live life for the amazing moments. We live by the motto that life is one nice ride. Nice Ride Lifestyle Apparel.
Well, this is going to be exciting. Outback Andy Foster has made it back up to the booth. And, buddy, we've been seeing Legends cars racing around California for many, many years, and nothing beats 17 of these cars buzzing around the 1/3 mile here on a Saturday night in August.
Yeah, and they're docked down there in Bakersfield tonight. So we've got a bunch of those Bakersfield cars that have come up to join us. And I tell you what, the heat racing was awesome tonight. We had 3 heat races tonight, and now we're going to group them all up for this main event. And I tell you what, this is going to be an awesome race, Stephen Blakeslee.
Look at all these cars. If you've never seen a Legends car race before, we like to remind you that these cars are identically prepared, and they all come from INEX in Charlotte, North Carolina. So it's just so cool to see all these varieties of cars, but they're all identical underneath. They're all powered by 1250cc, mostly water-cooled Yamahas. Some of the older ones use the air-cooled, but they're YJ 1250s, and they're water-cooled. And they get around the racetrack pretty good. They'll go about as fast, if not quicker, than a hobby stock. And when you think about how small those engines are, that's a pretty strong effort to go that quick. We're getting a great look at this beautiful field of cars. Let's go ahead and start running through our starting lineup, Outback.
Yeah, Stephen Blakeslee going to start on the front row. In the 31, it is Fast Eddie Garoni out of Bakersfield. Alongside him, the 2N of Chad Nascimento.
Second row, another Bakersfield driver, 29B Braden Rogers to his outside. This guy's been dominant in Legend cars. Now he's driving a Bakersfield car at 19. It's Cody Winchell.
Yeah, and row 3 is another Bakersfield driver, the 24P Colton Page. Alongside him is Sheldon Krause, and this guy comes with some big pedigree. Steve Blakeslee has won a lot of races back in North Carolina, and a lot of big races.
Yep, pretty cool to have him. We bring on the 46 of Modesto's Michael Ray. We have two people named Mike Ray in the pits tonight. We'll talk about that later. And to his outside, Brendan Rusbarski in the 51B. That's a cool name to have here at Madera.
Yes, it is. We move to row 5 now, the 71. Josh Ayers, I believe he's a Bakersfield driver as well. And the 44Y of Matt Winfrey.
Sixth row, 5S Pete Soto to his outside, Rob Nasty Nascimento.
We go to row number 7 now. That's Jordan Fisher and Keith Clement. The Stockton race has been around this division a long time.
Yes, he has. Jason Figura in the 43 and the 54 of Heather Hadley.
The final car tonight is the 37 of Kevin Travels, and yes, he does. He travels everywhere with all of these Legend cars.
Looks like they've all answered the call from what we can tell. So we'll have 17 cars for 35 fast and furious laps. It's a pretty long race for these diminutive cars, and like we kind of pointed out, the number of Bakersfield drivers in that first couple of rows, there's about 4 or 5 Bakersfield cars, so that really just enhances what's already a really good Legends of the Pacific. And you can go as far north as Cody Winchell, way up there in Ukiah. And our thoughts and prayers to the folks up there that are fighting the Mendocino Complex fires and the ranch fire up there. So hopefully everything's okay for Cody out of Sebastopol. But you can go all the way up to Sebastopol, all the way down to Bakersfield, and everywhere in between. So that's a pretty big slice of California represented out there.
Yes, it is, a big slice of California. We're going to run some hot laps, get some heat into those spec tires they have. And we'll be on with our start of this race tonight. Really looking forward to this Legend race tonight, Stephen.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Indications are it looks like they inverted 6. So that Sheldon Krause, who we talked about, he won the summer shootout 2 years ago at Charlotte, North Carolina, at Charlotte Motor Speedway, probably the most prestigious Legends car points race you can win. And then came to the West Coast and won the Winter Heat Series at Las Vegas. So to have a Charlotte title and a Las Vegas title, the top 2 Legends car places in the world, and then you come to Madera and you lead qualifying on a 17-car field with drivers from all over California, I'd say this guy's pretty darn impressive, Outback.
Yes, I believe so. Wow, starting outside 3rd row.
That's not too tall of a task on a 35-lap race.
No, it's not. 35 laps, like you say, is a long way around this racetrack. So, that's over kind of 10 miles. So
yeah,
a
like
lot of
12
twists
miles,
and turns in those twists and turns and getting sideways and getting bumped and beaten around by those other fast cars. So Fast Eddie Garoni will start up front. And Fast Eddie, this is a driver we love to see here at Madera Speedway. Always turns the action on, Stephen Blakeslee.
Yeah, in fact, it's one of the few times that I've ever given a driver a nickname and it stuck. So I'll take that one to the bank there. It doesn't happen too often for me, but Fast Eddie Garoni going to lead him down from the pole position here. This is going to be a pretty interesting race because they run on these rock-hard Federal tires. Now, you can cut these tires. I'm sure there's some tolerances there, but there's various people that offer that service, such as the Winchell family. And once you do that, they say these tires are good for a good part of the season. So they're hard tires on a hot night. It'll be interesting to see these guys slip and slide around Madera.
Yeah, tire wear is not normally a factor, but tonight I believe with that hot asphalt tonight, it will be a factor. So it's going to be a lot of tire management tonight. And if we get any restarts, you got to cool those tires down on the restart.
Well, we call him Fast Eddie, but he's bringing them down on a very slow pace alongside Chad Nascimento. And it's always interesting to see who of the Nascimentos has a bigger night. Rob Nasty is a lot deeper in the order than normal back in 12th here. Chad Nascimento right up at the top of the points in this series this year.
Yeah, he struggled a lot today just in practice and qualifying. So heat race as well. Here we go, Fast Eddie Green. That was a good start, too, from our Legend cars. We drive down into turn 1. Looks like the first 6 all safely got through the turns 1 and 2, and they race down into turn 3 and 4.
Drag race down the back straightaway. Garoni on the inside of that 19 car. And like I said, that 19 car used to be driven by his teammate, Chad Actis, so he's probably having deja vu, but it's not Chad Actis. It's Cody Winchell in that car, and Cody Winchell's up to second place.
Yeah, Cody is a good racer, too. Seen some good things from Cody when he's aboard the car.
And speaking of seeing double, we have a black 29 and a white 29 that were side by side there. That white 29, I believe, is Kraus.
Yes, the black 29 is Rogers.
Oh, white 29 is Rogers. Okay.
No, the white is Kraus.
Yeah,
and the
right,
black is Rogers.
Right.
The black
So
guy.
and Rogers used to run a white 29, so we're all sideways here, but no more sideways than our drivers on the track because we got a battle for the lead.
Yes, we do. We've got a battle on the lead down the back. The 19 of Winchell now gets to pull away from Chad Nascimento. And look who's coming. Kraus is coming. Already up to third, Stephen.
Unbelievable. And Kraus is setting a furious pace. He's already run the fastest lap of the main event down into the 16.4s as they work their way through turns 3 and 4. We're side by side for second place. Kraus inside. Here's going to be a great shot of them flashing by.
Yes, it is. We're probably going to go 3 wide the way these Legend cars go. Oh, sideways from Winchell.
Again. No,
and I believe
Kraus.
that's a tap from Kraus.
Yeah, Kraus needs to be careful there as that's got Winchell all kinds of sideways in turn 3. And give it to him. Lap number 6 goes to Sheldon Kraus, who's now living in Groveland.
But look, he's not happy coming back at it. Now Winchell trying to get to the back of that 29. I think if Winchell gets there, he's going to have something to say about
Oh,
that
there
bumping.
he does. He does. A little contact there, but the Groveland driver takes the lead from the Sebastopol driver as they work their way down with a Manteca driver in third. So they're from all over the place, and a Bakersfield driver fourth, another Bakersfield driver in fifth.
So Winchell's settling into second place. Nascimento settling into third, but he has Rogers right behind him. A look behind them, there's a big pack. Garoni is in that mixture of cars.
Yeah, Colton Page is up there on the inside with the black roof on that car.
And I believe it's the number 5 as well of Nasty Nascimento, Rob Nascimento.
He's a little bit behind this pack. He is shown right now in about the 8th position. Outback is, in fact, make it the 9th spot for Rob Nasty here. So he's kind of leading that second pack. So nice little drive by Rob Nasty to go from 12th up to 9th. And we'll see with open racetrack in front of him if he can't reel in that 44 of Matt Winfrey. As we've completed 10 laps, 25 to go. And Kraus just ran the best lap of the race here on lap number 10. So these guys better pick up the pace or Kraus is going to leave them in the dust.
Yeah, Kraus started out of position 6, has got to the lead, and kind of just dictating the whole race now.
Oh, we got a move going on here for the third spot. As up the inside goes Brain Rogers. And the 2 car of Chad Nascimento fighting back. Rogers has run just about all of the Legends of the Pacific races. He ran Stockton a couple weeks ago. So he's got familiarity with the guys he's running with, even though he's a Bakersfield driver.
Michael Ray is in this battle as well with Colton Page. This is a 4-car battle, Stephen Lacey, and I tell you what, that's a hard 4-car battle as well.
So good look here as the 19 of Winchell in second, and he still has a 1 second disadvantage on Kraus. And on the last time around, he gave up 2 tenths on him. Battle for third continues.
Yes, it is. Rogers now gets to the inside of Chad Nascimento, and that's bringing Michael Ray with him. So looks like Nascimento might lose a couple of spots down here with Michael Ray. And don't count Colton Page out of getting a move on that 2 car. So the 2 car losing 3 spots in just over a lap.
Colton Page is a pretty nifty little driver. He spends a lot of time running at Irwindale, which is also a 1/3 mile. And I wonder if that benefits him here at Madera, because this is the biggest track most of these drivers go to all year long. Oh, they got hooked.
Yeah,
and Michael Ray's into the he didn't hit. I don't think he hit the wall.
I think he just touched it. They got hooked up on bumpers, and Michael Ray, that was a great save by Michael Ray.
I wish I had like a telestrator like NFL football, because he has a GoPro on the roof of that car, and that GoPro is going to be spectacular for the last 20 laps of this race, as that's his dad right there in the gray talking to him, making sure everything's okay. Michael Ray Sr.
Yeah, the bumper looks okay on that 46 car.
So he's going to restart all the way at the rear, and that's going to be fun.
Yes, it is going to be fun. Like I say, getting hooked up bumpers. That's the thing with these legend cars. You have to be very careful. It's very easy to hook the front bumper to the rear bumper of these other cars.
Well, that brings them all together here. 15 down, 20 to go. Sheldon Krause taking the lead there, and Cody Winchell up to second. That's going to erase that 1.5 second lead. And on the flip side of that, back later in the field, the gap from 8th to 9th had grown to 2.6 seconds between Matt Winfrey and Rob Nasty Nascimento. So there's two different places where it's going to bring the packs together, and that's going to make for a rather entertaining restart. We're just shy of halfway here at Madera Speedway in Madera, California. If you've never visited us, we're about 20 miles north of Fresno. And if you're from outside of California, we want to remind you that this is where most of the produce in the world is grown. Of course, all kinds of great products come out of this area, such as almonds from Nut Up Industries, of course, peaches,
apricots,
sweet potatoes from 5150 and those guys, apricots, all kinds of stuff, cuties and halos and the little oranges, and we love that
it's
stuff.
Pretty much grown in the Central Valley.
Yeah, basically it all happens here up and down the valley, San Joaquin County, Merced County, Madera County.
Stanislaus County?
Yeah, down into Kern County. Kern County actually the highest producing county now for ag in California. So we're right in the middle of all that stuff. There's nary a driver out there that doesn't have something to do with agriculture in his family. It's like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. They've all got something to do with ag out there. And we love that connection as our promoter's eating grapes in the booth as we get ready to go.
This will be a very interesting restart, and Michael Ray is going to have to start up the back. So we'll keep an eye on Michael Ray and see how his progress goes.
Wonder if we can split screen the screen here and put the 46 on one half, because I think that's going to be pretty exciting out back as we get ready to go. I'm really interested to see if the 2-car of Nascimento can pick up a little bit of pace here. He had fallen back to 5th. Now he gets a reset here with 20 to go.
Yes, he does. Here we go. Good restart to the 29 car. That's the white 29 of Krause. Got a good restart. But look at Cody Winchell.
Oh.
Cody went to go up the outside. Krause pulled up the track and blocked that move because Winchell had a head of steam coming up there. And now they are going side by side with Braden Rogers and Colton Page as well.
Cody Winchell way up the hill, and Colton Page did the right thing there to not take them 3 wide, because that would have gotten nasty there.
Gangroni trying to find a way around Nascimento. That would be Chad Nascimento. We see Chad has got the better of Rob Nascimento tonight.
Well, Rob Nasty used this restart to get up into 7th now. He's gotten around Winfrey, so he's moved up a little bit. As we get a look at that pack right there, Rob Nasty has passed the 44 Winfrey. In fact, Winfrey's fallen backwards. They're 3 wide around the 44Y of Matt Winfrey. Keep an eye on that as they work their way out of turn 2.
Yeah, a lot of cars down here. We got the 5 fighting out with the 86 as well. The 86 is Jordan Fisher.
Yep.
The 5 is Rob Nascimento. Wow. This is a battle back here in the pack, I can tell you. Soto's in there, Pete Soto, Winfrey. You got Travels on the outside, Kevin Travels.
And they were just about 3 wide again back there as we jump up front to the lead. And you can see that it's still being held right now by Sheldon Krause. He has had a rather perfect night so far here at Madera Speedway. Fast time, leading the way in the main. Look at this scramble back here just at the back of the top 10.
Yes, it is a big scramble back here. Kevin Travels, I tell you what, Kevin started way at the back.
Dead last.
Yeah, and he's making some moves now, getting around the outside of Winfrey and Soto. He's in a big battle with Winfrey.
Well, he's
Soto,
going
and
up for
Fisher.
8th right here, so 17th to 8th out back. That's
on the move.
That's worthy of a hamburger after the race. That's a pretty good effort.
He'd be a
Whoa,
guy-
look out, Matt Winfrey. And it looked like Fisher tagged the wall as well. You don't think the...
Oh, Soto goes around. Soto goes
Oh,
around. The
and there's
71
Ayers.
is in there.
Ayers.
Yep, Ayers. Ayers has lost the front bumper on that car.
And look
Soto's
at the damage.
got, this will be the
Terminal.
hook for Soto, Pete Soto, unfortunately.
And I saw some white bodywork flying off of one of these cars. There's parts and pieces flying everywhere. As we get a look at some of the drivers driving past, and there's a look at the 5S. That car dead in the water, Pete Soto.
Yeah, there might have been some fiberglass coming off that fender. I can see it. So trying to see if it's just rubber marks on there or if he had a chunk out of that fender. There is some crack in the fiberglass, so they're looking at that.
That's one of the Legends of the Pacific officials
Yep.
helping out down there. That's why he might look a little more unofficial than these
That
guys.
car's done. He's telling Pete Soto, you're done. So I don't know if he can fire that up and pull it to the infield or not. They're probably going to wait for a tow truck. Pete banging the inside sheet metal away.
So we're going to take this opportunity to take a quick timeout here from Madera Speedway. More Legends car racing after this.
Work, live, play. 5150.
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series at the Madera Speedway.
Time with friends. Family. Memories being made. We live life for the amazing moments. We live by the motto that life is one nice ride. Nice Ride Lifestyle Apparel.
Welcome back to Madera Speedway Live. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors, 805 Beer, that great beer from Paso Robles. Hey, 5150 Energy Drink, the supporters of our Madera Racing show on MAV TV, and of course the title sponsor of the 5150 Energy Drink Junior Late Model Series. Nut Up, a great sponsor of those chopped nuts. Stephen said, food grown in the valley, and that is chopped nuts from Nut Up. Twisted Tea, a great hard iced tea. If you like a nice iced tea, a hard iced tea. And of course, Nice Ride, oneNiceRide.com, a great apparel company from Southern California. iPaul U-Paul, Stockton and Fresno, a great place to pick up used auto parts, as I did for my truck. Picked up a door for my pickup truck. One Nice Ride, that's the number one, NiceRide.com apparel. So yeah, check them out at MAV TV. Of course, you can catch Madera Racing on MAV TV every Thursday night. So some great sponsors, including, once again, iPaul U-Paul, RPM Mortgage, the title sponsor of our Pro Late Model Series on MAV TV. Home Loans Fast, rpmwins.com. or 833-RPM-WINS. If you need to get a refi or you just want to buy a new house, check them out, RPM Mortgage at rpmwins.com. The race leader from Grovelands, California, Sheldon Krause. What a great night it's been for Sheldon. The 19 car of Cody Winchell out of Sebastopol, hanging tough in that second spot tonight. And then, of course, third is Braden Rogers. And Braden's got his hands full because there's a lot of good cars right behind Braden Rogers. And they would include Colton Page, Nascimento, Fast Eddie Garoni, Rob Nascimento, who's making his way through now. And drivers started way down the back. Kevin Travels in that 37. He'll be loving this restart. Chance to bunch up and just picked up a couple more spots on the racetrack.
Yeah, he went 17th to 9th out back, so I wonder if he can't go a few spots better before this thing's all done. Wouldn't that be pretty cool?
Time will tell. Yeah, it's been a great drive. It'll be certainly the hard charger award for Kevin Travels if he continues at this pace.
They're showing him one more time around the Madera Speedway before we get things back underway. And so we'll see if anyone has anything for the driver, Sheldon Krause, coming to us out of Groveland. Like you mentioned, a former champion at Las Vegas and Charlotte, kind of the epicenters of this stuff, but he's got a tough customer, Cody Winchell, alongside of him.
Yeah, Cody's looking to get a good restart here. Rogers right on the back of that, the two 29s together, the white 29 of Krause and the black 29 of Rogers. That was a good restart for Colton Page as well as Cody Winchell. Winchell is on the outside of Krause now.
They're battling out at turn number 4. Looks like Krause has the right stuff. He's going to keep the lead. And we were almost 3 wide behind them. And Winchell again tucks up right behind him. They make contact. Coming out of the corner, they make contact. I think again going into again. Wow, he's probably made contact with him 6 times. And finally, Krause goes up the racetrack and give it to him. Cody Winchell had it by a nose there on lap 24. This is wild stuff, side by side. Great camera work here as we work our way down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Cody Winchell knew the way. The only way he could do is loosen up that 29.
Yeah, but the 29, I think, is quicker as he crosses him over.
Yes, he is.
And we still got a lot of racing to go.
Winchell's happy on the outside. Seems like that's the longer way around, but Cody Winchell seems pretty happy, and the car seems to handle nicely on the outside.
Well, with 9 laps to go, there was just too much time on the table.
Did you see that, Steve Lacey? Colton Page. And here we go. We got trouble on the raceway.
Oh, a pretty serious crash, in fact. The 5 of Rob Nasty has hit the wall a ton, and I think nasty is the right word. It was loud, and it was scary.
The steering wheel is
out, which is most of the time a good sign. These drivers don't have a window net, so that's the best way they can indicate to us that they're okay is by taking the steering wheel off. And our safety crew is hustling there. Frank McBee is already on site. And the Legends of the Pacific official is there as well, talking to Rob Nasty. But
we've gone red here at the moment.
That we didn't like that. That's for sure.
Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases from now on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases from now on.
Since 1960, A.V. Thomas Produce has been growing sweet potatoes in the sandy soils of Livingston, California. This family-owned and operated business takes pride in growing the best organic sweet potatoes in the world. That's why when we decided to create an energy drink with one of the world's superfoods, there was no question who to talk to. Sweet potatoes are packed with vitamins and nutrients essential to daily life. Introducing 5150's organic line of drinks. With the delicious flavors of strawberry and banana, plus the nutritional benefits of the sweet potato. 5150 Organic Energy Drink. providing your body with the energy and health it needs.
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series at the Madera.
The energy drink is the choice for those with a passion for life and a thirst to match. There are many obstacles in life that keep people from pursuing their dreams. But when you're 5150, you're able to use those hardships as motivation to push yourself. With the right mindset, anyone can achieve greatness, and 5150 can help get you there, offering much more than just a boost of energy. Our ingredients are carefully selected because of their health benefits. So not only does 5150 taste great, it also provides the body with the nutrients it needs to stay hydrated and energized. Our mission to provide a quality product is matched only by our commitment to making the world a better place. In partnership with the Carlos Vieira Foundation, efforts are made year-round to help the less fortunate. In fact, a portion of every can sold goes toward helping families that are living with autism. And at the heart of it all is passion. The passion to live life to its fullest, to chase your dreams, and to help others. Are you 5150?
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series at the Madera Speedway.
Time with friends, family, memories being made. We live life for the amazing moments. We live by the motto that life is one nice ride. Nice Ride Lifestyle Apparel.
Welcome back to Madera Speedway Live, and shot there of Rob Nasty Nascimento's car, and nasty damage to that car, Stephen Blakeslee.
Yeah, what a tough break for that driver, and he's being checked out. So, wow.
Yeah, a lot of damage to the right front.
About as hard as you can hit with a Legends car. And, you know, when we had that throttle stick with Bubba Wallace at Pocono, and he decided to go left and go through the infield, and what a lot of people said, kind of hindsight's 2020, is that a lot of people believe the better approach, if you have an issue like that, is to try to steer the car up to the wall, which is what Rob Nasty apparently did. and it really didn't matter. He still made significant contact with the wall. So I think not that this is really that comparable to Pocono in a Cup car, but I think we've seen both theories end up with hard wall impacts either way. So I think either way, you're kind of a passenger, so tough to really make a call there, right?
Significant impact, significant damage as well. You see that whole corner, and it also got the back as well. You can see it got the back end of that car as well. So they're going to have a lot of work to do before the next race with Rob Nascimento's car.
Kind of interested where they're taking that car. Of course, the Legends car is parked in kind of the back row there. Kind of a warm evening. These drivers having to sit under red, some of them opening up their driver's side doors. If you saw these smaller cars, you've never been around Legends before, and you wondered, how do they get in and out of these cars? Well, they don't have a roof hatch like a Michael Waltrip or something. They have a door. So that's what they designed. And so some of these drivers, you can see, have their doors open to get some air in those cars because it gets hot when you're under yellow.
The motor sits there and the exhaust and everything sitting there heating up the car. There's no airflow. Normally when you're going along, you're getting airflow through those windows.
I think they shut the engines off under the red.
Still, the thing is, when you shut a motor off, it actually heats up. It gets a little hotter before it'll cool down. So a lot of that heat is coming back. You're not getting the airflow to cool the car out. So.
It's so interesting, the variety of the way these cars are constructed. Like even in this shot, the 43 of Figura had his door mounted on the rear, and Ruzbarsky had his door mounted on the front. So it's interesting. They have built in some random bits of variety here and there with the way these cars are constructed. Also, you can see Ruzbarsky runs that larger headrest, which is probably what we'd prefer our drivers do for safety. Figura not running that headrest there on the side. And these cars don't run window nets. They don't even run side nets like some of the open wheel cars. So just some different approaches there. So Figura, he's just like a doggy wagging his tail out the window there in the 43. As we see the yellow lights are on, a couple cars are requiring a push. A couple of these cars required a push just to make it onto the track for the main event. Wonder if that's a byproduct of the heat here tonight. And now we're going to get these cars back underway. Still 9 laps to go, and another opportunity for Winchell and Kraus to duke it out up front. Our PCS Super Late models coming up right after this, presented by PennyLawyers.com. 75-lap race, and the drivers that run in their American Racer Tire Dash, that's an 8-car, 8-lap dash. That dash took place a couple hours ago. Track's a whole lot different now, so we'll see who's made the proper adjustments to compensate for that here when we get this thing back underway and get that race on the racetrack. It's going to be a sizzling main event.
Yes, it is.
At Madera.
And talking about that too, Stephen Blakesley, we talk about the temperatures coming down, the racetrack temperatures coming down now that the sun has gone away. BCS guys are going to have to adjust on these cars a little bit to. It will definitely be different from what they had earlier today.
When I interviewed Matt Wendt in Victory Lane after the dash, I kind of alluded to the fact that the track was going to tighten up because he had a pretty loose car in the dash. And he kind of alluded to me that they were planning on going back behind the wall and tightening the car up. And if they've done that significantly, that could be a mistake because it's a lot later, a lot cooler now. So hopefully they didn't go too aggressively on that as we get a good look at those pair of 29 cars, Sheldon Kraus and Braden Rogers.
Yeah. 229s. Lucky the one is black, one is white as we cross them up.
And get the one to go simultaneously. I always love when series are able to do that. That really tightens up the show. And Kraus picks the inside for the restart. We still have 14 of our 17 starters running here at Madera Speedway as they roll through Nice Ride Turn. Off the corner, and there's a little bit of games being played there on the restart, but
yes,
good one for that 29 car.
Cody Winchell is certainly hanging tough on these restarts, although that time he dropped back gets that slingshot out of turn number 2, and they are side by side for third and fourth place, and that is Braden Rogers and Colton Page. These two young guys racing side by side. So this is a good battle, and they're bringing Eddie Groney with them. Eddie's back in 5th on the racetrack.
Well, it's a whole host of Bakersfield guys trying to make their way to the front here in the closing stages of this race, and 2 of them are side by side. You know, they have a lower division of these cars, the Bandos that we run in our Bandos versus Mini Cups, and both of those drivers, 3rd and 4th, well, they started their careers in Bandos, and now they're duking it out in the Legends cars into turn number 3.
Yes, they are. Tell you what, Steve Lacey, looking forward to seeing this battle continue for these remaining laps between Colton Page and Braden Rogers. And look at this battle. Groney got loose right in front of Chad Nascimento.
And Nascimento
Fisher's in there, Travels, and you got Winfrey in there as well.
Well, and when Nascimento gets into there could be trouble there on Nascimento's car. He hit Groney pretty hard. Nascimento has been getting hit from behind whenever he gets on the brakes. He got tagged by the 86 of Fisher. I don't think it was malicious, but Fisher was saying, let's get going here. And look at how they've sort of backed up 5th on back there. Whoa, Nascimento spins.
Single car spin.
And he keeps it going. He don't, nope. Watch out, Heather Hadley. Oh, man. Heather Hadley threaded the needle there going into turn 1. And Heather Hadley probably had her eyes closed, Days of Thunder style there. And meanwhile, Travels, who bounced off of Nascimento, did a tank slapper, Paul Tracy style, and ended up spun around backwards underneath the twist T sign. And that is heartbreak for Kevin Travels, who had driven from 17th all the way up to about 7th, and his run to the front is going to go to shambles.
Yeah, unfortunately for Kevin Travels, was a good drive so far.
Well. Another caution here with 4 to go, and another opportunity for the veteran driver, Cody Winchell, to try to turn up the wick on Sheldon Krause. How many times can Krause get it right before it goes wrong on the pressure cooker that is the Legends of the Pacific here at Madera?
Yes, he's going to have to probably get maybe one more. I'm going to predict one more restart after this one. So that would be my prediction.
Well, we're going to have to recharge the batteries in our cameras and give them some new chips, if you will, because they're burning up the midnight oil here with the Legends cars. But it has not lacked excitement, that's for sure. Well, you know, something that we haven't really touched on is the 8 car of Keith Clement. You know, Keith Clement, he started this race rather deep in 14th. And Keith Clement, the ageless veteran of these cars, is up to 7th place. And, you know, he is a real tough customer. I saw Keith Clement flip one of these cars at Roseville a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was a big crash.
It was significant, and he was undaunted, if you will. He's a tough customer, and here he is running in 7th here on lap 31.
So our running order is Krause leading from Winchell. Then you've got Colton Page, Braden Rogers, Eddie Garoni. That is your fast 5. And I tell you what, a driver that's slowly made his way up, Stephen Lacey, started out of row number 7. Jordan Fisher is in 6. So Jordan started in 13. So he's made up 7 spots. So right now he would be the hard charger, I believe.
Well, I think these drivers have done a good job of being in the right place. And, you know, 35 laps is basically an endurance race for these guys. And they're holding on to all they can to try to get themselves up to the front here by the end of this race. As we go lights out, we're going back to green. It's still the 29 and the 19, Krause and Winchell. We're back underway.
Yeah, Winchell again got a good restart on the outside. He'll get that slingshot out of turn number 2. There he goes, pulls up alongside Krause now. And Colton Page has found something in that 24 because he is right on the rear bumper of these lead cars.
Yeah, and Jaden Fisher squirts out of there in 5th around fast Eddie Garoni. How about that? So Jaden Fisher on the move, but the battle's up front. It's not over here.
No,
we're coming up on 2 to go.
Winchell's been running the outside. Ooh. This time he runs the inside on Krause. Side by side, wheel to wheel, legend car racing.
2 to go. What a race. Unbelievable, and those Bakersfield boys have a front row seat. Whoa, Winchell shoved the nose coming out of turn 2, and that might be all she wrote for Kraus, but Winchell sails it back in there. They've got the white flag in hand. One more time around, legend style at Madera.
It's about to get real now as we come down on this last lap. Round the outside, Kraus. He's got a fender lead on Winchell as Winchell balls up to the inside. It is side-by-side battle.
Oh, they made contact.
They spin. And Colton Page is going to go on to win this thing.
Maybe.
If we don't get a yellow.
They show the checkered flag.
Colton Page will win.
And that would be second for Fast Eddie Garrodi. And third for Braden Rogers. It'll be an all Bakersfield podium if it sticks. Checkered flag with a yellow flag in the Legends of the Pacific here at Madera Speedway. That was wild. And Cody Winchell, he shakes his head in disgust inside the race car, flips the visor up, and those Bakersfield drivers congratulating each other as Colton Page, a long-awaited trip to Madera Speedway Victory Lane, the grandson of the founder of Kern County Raceway Park, Charlie Beard, is going to park his car in Victory Lane, and in just a few moments, he's going to hear from our Outback Andy Foster here at Madera Speedway.
Work, live, play. 5150.
Well, this is a young man that started out racing Bandoleros in 2013, and in 2018, he's a Legends car winner. Let's throw it down to Outback Andy Foster, standing by with Colton Page.
In 2018, he's a multi-time winner at tracks in the south of California, but tonight he comes to Central Valley, charged hard all race, gets the win tonight. They say never, never give up, Colton Page. You never gave up tonight. You're in the thick of the battle back there, and the leaders got together, and that's all you needed to thread your way through and get your first ever Madera win.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm still in shock, just holding on to the end. I knew that, it was going to get a little crazy at the end of just hold on and see if I can get underneath there, and it happened.
Not only that, you've got a lot of fast cars you're fighting out with as well, Fast Eddie Groney and all the rest of that back. So you're trying to thread your way through, but you're trying to keep those cars you're racing with behind you as well. Great job threading your way through. Congratulations on your first Madera win.
Thank you.
Colton Page tonight getting his first Madera Speedway win.
Well, they brought those Bakersfield guys to town, and the Bakersfield guys reigned supreme, and so the pizza's on them tonight. That was a pretty good performance by Colton Page. And look at this beautiful sight in turns 3 and 4 on the racetrack right now. The PCS Super Late Model is presented by PennyLawyers.com. Fred Penny, the longtime sponsor of this series, and we got to thank him for what he does, and he offers free consultations. So anybody that has been injured and might need a consultation from a lawyer, we remind them to try Fred Penny first and remind him that you heard about him from the PCS and from Madera Speedway. So what a great field. What an awesome night this is going to be. 75 laps of Super Late Model racing. The top 6 qualifiers were only separated by 86 1,000ths. And then a very exciting dash race was won by the number 1 car, Matt Wendt, for the second PCS race in a row. But guess what? Matt Wendt, 5 starts this year, 5 DNFs. He has been completely snake bitten. And so we can see if he can overcome that snake bitten season and try to get himself to victory lane in the PCS. Two-time winner last year, and Matt Wendt is going to lead them down here for what should be an electric race of PCS super late models. 75 laps of stock car racing coming up, and we're excited to bring you this one here from Madera Speedway. If you've never seen the PCS, buckle up because these cars are sizzling fast. The track record here is in the 13 seconds, if you can believe that, on a 1/3 mile speedway here in Madera, California. And we're looking forward to seeing these guys put on some hot racing here on a Saturday night. We're going to have these cars lined up in just a few moments. And they're all chasing that number 8 car, Jason Romero, the points leader. And Romero is another driver who has been terribly snake bitten in the PCS when it comes to Madera Speedway. In fact, he has spun in every single PCS race here at Madera, and he was the driver that told us about that. He has kept score on that. He said, I've never come out of here clean. I've always been around backwards, whether it's been on my own or with some help. And today he's hoping to reverse those fortunes, but he's going to have a lot of work to do from position number 7. Beautiful field of cars. Our points leader is the 8 car of Jason Romero. Our fast time qualifier was the 51 of Carlos Vieira, but that dash really mixed things up out back, and the 1 car of Matt Wendt is going to lead them down as we get ready to go. And once we get these cars stopped, we're going to introduce you to these drivers. And Outback, how great is it to have the PCS here at Madera?
Yeah, it's good to have the PCS back at Madera, and wow, we got some great drivers out there. Good to see Carlos Vieira, the boss of 5150, back in the house tonight. We know he has won here before at Madera, and Carlos has had a little bad luck of late, so hopefully he can put another win together, but he's got to hold out all those PCS regulars.
Looks like we're ready for that starting lineup. Rick Anderson is in position. We're going to start introducing these drivers. Starting at the rear of the field in car number 45 out of Ripon, California. Making his return to the PCS in a Ford Mustang, it's Mike Ray. And starting alongside Mike in car number 70 out of Elk Grove, California, the Pimentel Freight Lines car, also a Ford. The great racing town of Elk Grove brings us Mike Height. Driving car number 6, our defending PCS champion. He's got some work to do coming out of Modesto in the Beeler Industries Chevrolet. Car number 6, Mike Beeler. Starting inside of Mike in car number 1, making his PCS debut out of Fresno in the Crown Homes Daryl Herzog Roofing Toyota. Car 1 is Tyler Herzog. Driving car number 54, making his PCS debut, the 17-year-old driver, driving for B&L Tire and Sigma Engineering Solutions, the 54, Jacob Smith. Driving car number 8 out of Cameron Park, the Folsom Lake Asphalt Chevrolet, our points leader, that's Jason Romero. Driving car number 35 out of Pine Grove, the Camps Propane Chevrolet, a 4-time late model champion, the 35, Matt Scott. Driving car number 3, the 17-time stock car champion out of French Camp, California for Cherokee Mufflers, Simpson Racing, the 3 cars, the Birdman, Dave Bird. Driving car number 27 out of Granite Bay, the JM Environmental Chevrolet Camaro. How about it for the Ironman, John Moore? Driving car number 51 out of Livingston, California, the 5150 Energy Drink Ford. How about it for your Fast Time qualifier, Living the Madness with Carlos Vieira? Driving car number 20 out of Granite Bay, California, the JM Environmental Chevrolet. 2 main event wins this year at Ukiah and Stockton. How about it for Colmore? And starting on the pole in car number 1 out of Galt, California, the Wet Construction Cali Style Custom Chevrolet. Car number 1 is Matt Wendt. And that's going to be your field for the PCS Super Late Models presented by PennyLawyers.com. And race fans, let's count them down here as we get ready to go to start these engines. We're going to count them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drivers, let's start these PCS engines. So it'll be kind of cool to see Rick, our starter, still getting behind the wheel here and there. And he's really given our series the racer's touch as we're getting ready to go for this one. We're going green next time around here at Madera Speedway.
Okay, so Stephen, you see this series many, many times a year. How do you see the first couple of laps playing out? You got the Moors running on the high line.
I think if you've got a fast race car, you charge at the beginning to try to get the track position, then you start to conserve. That's kind of the game plan. As they work their way out of turn number 4, Matt Wendt brings them down on Cole Moore, and we are green.
Yes, we are green. As we go down the back section, all the cars safely through turns 1 and 2. It's still door handle to door handle between the one of Wendt, and Cole Moore's gone up on the high line, got a little loose. That allowed Carlos Vieira to get a shot at him. Now John Moore going to the outside of Carlos Vieira, so the Moores, John can see his son Cole is doing okay up on that high line.
Well, they're side by side for the lead here as they came across that time. It was pretty close to call. Cole Moore's got a nice run there on the outside. Give it to him with that slingshot move down the back, straightaway out back. It's going to be Cole Moore. He's going to lead lap number 3. We've already had 2 different leaders in this race. And Matt Wendt has got to be thinking, what do I got to do to stay at the front in a PCS race?
Yeah, and look who's coming too. He'll come into picture in a minute. Matt Scott in that 35 car. Matt's fixing to get around the outside of John Moore. John's all super sideways. Red Matt way up the racetrack. Cole Moore's the race leader, followed by Carlos Vieira and Matt Wendt.
Yeah, we were
Matt's lost 2 spots now.
Well, we were 2 by 2 per second there. The 51 of Vieira going by on the outside to take second place for Matt Wendt. That's a nice little battle of some Roseville guys there. The Pine Grove driver, Matt Scott, the 3-time Roseville champion, and to his inside, John Moore, who calls Roseville his home track. And it looks like John Moore's got the best of him so far. So John Moore is going to slide up into 4th. Scott trying to fight back with all that horsepower on the outside.
You have to love the look of that 27 car, that new generation Camaro bodywork on the John Moore car with the patriotic paint scheme on there. Always a good-looking car.
Carlos Vieira's got a nose on the 20 car of Cole Moore.
Now Carlos drives down into 3 and 4, holding out Cole Moore.
That did not take very long, and Carlos Vieira is going to lead lap number 7. And I'll tell you what, I think the fear from a lot of people is Carlos Vieira had quick time, even though it was close. He had quick time, and it was a question of how quick would he go to the front. For Carlos to be in the lead on lap 7 could be bad news for the rest of the field.
Yes, it could. That's the Allied Packaging 5150 energy drink. And Carlos is living the madness, and I tell you what, I'm sure he downed a can of that 5150 before he buckled into that car.
Well, last August, he set quick time with a track record, led 70 laps before he tagged the wall in lap traffic. I think he learned something from that about pacing yourself. He had a half-lap lead when he did that. So we'll see probably a different Carlos Vieira tonight than we did a year ago when he tagged the wall in the lead. And he's got a little lap traffic to deal with right off the get-go with that 45 of Mike Ray here on lap 11.
Carlos down there. We're taking a look at it. Got by Ray. Ray's up on the high line. Way up against the wall. And Matt Wendt will get through as well.
Battle for 4th continues here as John Moore leads Matt Scott. Trouble in the front straightaway. Oh, it's nasty.
Height.
It's Mike Height. And I'll tell you what, Mike Height was involved in a crash here at the start in March and in August. So that will be 3 races in a row where Mike Height is involved in early, well, because the track is blocked. The track is totally blocked.
The Crown Homes car of Tyler Herzog, too. A lot of damage to Tyler Herzog's car down there, I think. I'm seeing all the...
Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases from now on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases from now on.
Since 1960, A.V. Thomas Produce has been growing sweet potatoes in the sandy soils of Livingston, California. This family-owned and operated business takes pride in growing the best organic sweet potatoes in the world. That's why when we decided to create an energy drink with one of the world's superfoods, there was no question who to talk to. Sweet potatoes are packed with vitamins and nutrients essential to daily life. Introducing 5150's organic line of drinks. With the delicious flavors of strawberry and banana, plus the nutritional benefits of the sweet potato. 5150 Organic Energy Drink. providing your body with the energy and health it needs.
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series.
We've seen it on other nights. Carlos chooses the inside. So interesting.
Well, and that's going to be good for the one car of Went. And how interesting is that outside row with the father and son, John Moore and Cole Moore, and the 8 car of Jason Romero. In fact, the outside row is fully inverted from the points with third in points, second in points, and first in points. So there are some tough customers on that outside row here. And we still got a lot of racing to go, 63 laps to go. Rick Anderson showing them one more time around the racetrack. They turn the lights off on that PCS pace truck, and we're going to see these guys go to work.
I'm sure the Moores spotters have been talking to each other and said, look, we got to team up on the start, try and make this as good as we can, get close together, try and hook up and see if we can slingshot our way around Carlos Vieira. Like you said, the guy that's really looking forward to this restart. In the inside, he's tucking up underneath that 51 car. Was that one of Matt Went? On with the restart, down into turn 1. Carlos has got a good turn 1 going, but on the outside, Moore is hanging tough with him as they drive down into 3.
Well, Moore's like, hey, you raced me hard at the start. I'm going to race you hard now. This is good stuff. Like I said, track position is really important in this series because you got to get there so you can set the pace. If you let another guy set the pace, it can really screw you up. This is a nice little battle here, but Vieira holds off Cole Moore, and it looks like John Moore has gotten the better of Matt Went for third as well.
Yeah, Carlos had Cole Moore hanging off his right rear tire. Carlos will need to be careful that he doesn't get a tire snagged and cut down the tire, doing that, letting them pepper the back of his car. Carlos goes up the racetrack, Cole Moore to the inside. So they flip-flop where we were from the start. Like you said, Carlos got the lead on the outside. Now he's gone back upstairs. So obviously Carlos feels that it's better that car on the high line, and Moore is charging hard here.
Well, I wonder if Carlos Vieira might do it differently the next time we have a restart because he's upstairs, although it's not really working very well. Cole Moore is showing him the nose as they work their way down the back straightaway. Cole Moore has had a very good summer in 2018, probably the best season of his career, but it's also had lots of heartbreak with 3 DNFs. And so you really want to erase that heartbreak from the memory and keep the good wins and the good finishes in your memory bank. And behind him, his dad, John Moore, has had a nice little battle with Matt Went there, and it looks like John Moore is going to hold on to third for now. Jason Romero is in 5th.
Yes, Jason Romero in 5th, and right behind him, Matt Scott just coming in the picture as well now. The Moores, as Carlos pulls away by about 3 car lengths. Now, I see Carlos has gone up the track, so he started on that inside, pushing the car up. The question
they've all done it.
Right, the question is, where is the tire wear? Maybe Carlos feels that it's heating the tires up too much running the low line.
Well, the whole top 6 has gone upstairs just about. And by the way, remember in qualifying, the top 6 were very strong and the rest of the field had a little differential. We're kind of seeing that in this main event. The top 6 are a lot quicker than the rest of the pack. They've kind of separated themselves by about a straightaway from 7th place, Dave Bird. So we have 2 6-car races basically going on. So it's been a pretty entertaining main event so far. And I'll tell you one thing, Outback. Whenever John Moore gets behind Cole Moore, he does not give his son any slack. In fact, he almost goes opposite and races him harder. And so it'll be interesting to see if that Camaro bumper gets used here as we've completed 22 laps of 75.
Yes, we have. That running order will be Carlos Vieira, who has a bit of a break over Cole Moore, John Moore. Then you go back to the 1 of Matt Wendt, the 8 of Jason Romero and Matt Scott. So they're the kind of cars that are hooked up. Those guys are hooked up and gone as Carlos now puts another lap on Ray. This is an interesting battle between Romero and Wendt.
Well, Romero doesn't...
Oh, look at this, Steve Lacey. John Moore, you talked about that, using the bumper, loosen up his son Cole Moore out of turn number 4.
Well, they were trying to figure out how to get around the lap car, and Cole Moore dropped down rather late. So John Moore kind of gave him a nose, saying, hey, keep going, bud, I'm right here. But this is a pretty good battle for 4th place. Jason Romero has no reason to have urgency. He's had so much bad luck here. He needs to just let this race come to him as he's side by side with Matt Scott for 5th as they sail off into turn 3. Great battle here. Matt Scott is way overdue. He had a DNF at Stockton that was not his doing. And these two guys who have run side by side at Roseville for many, many years, putting on a show for 5th.
Yes, they are. Matt Scott now drives to the inside of Romero. May be credited with that position at the line. I think he is. Matt Scott. And a car's blown up. Ray's just blown up on the racetrack. And this will bring out a yellow.
Yeah, that's the 45 of Mike Ray. And we had felt like there was something wrong with that car all afternoon. Every time that car was on the track, it felt like it was breaking loose, like it had something wrong with the rear end. And it looks like he made it to the infield. And so far, Outback Andy, we are green flag racing. We'll see if there's any fluid on the track. I'm sure the spotters are taking a look at it. And that hasn't slowed the battling down at all as Jason Romero tried to go to the outside of Matt Wendt there. So the battling continues and Mike Ray out of this race here on lap 30. But we're battling for 4th on the racetrack.
Yes, we are. Romero and Matt Scott have been going at him. Holding it up, though, I think Matt Wendt is holding this up a little bit, this battle between Romero and Scott. I'd like to see if they could find a way through.
Scott might have had a problem there. He really got squirrely there, and he's falling back by about a car length now on Jason Romero. So for Matt Wendt, it's got to be disappointing, though. You win the dash, but the car is just a little bit off here in the main event as we're battling for
John
2nd.
Moore now. Yeah, John got to the inside of his son. Like you say, John does not cut Cole any slack at all. John Moore racing his son hard, the 27 of John Moore, the 20 of Cole Moore, and that JM car now moves to 2nd. Tell you what, John Moore, the more experienced of the two Moores, picks up 2nd place.
Well, John Moore, 2nd in the points last year, 2nd in the points this year, and he's our 2015 champion. So he'd like to get back to the top of the heap. And one way to do that, he's got to outrun Jason Romero. The difference was 14 points coming into tonight. Right now, he'll have shaved a couple of points off of that. But what he needs is some wins, and he needs some misfortune for Jason Romero. You know what? Carlos Vieira has really not pulled away from these guys. We're coming up on halfway, and they're right together.
Yep. Moore now, you see it, the gap closing. It's visual now to a car length between the two of them. So John Moore is charging hard and almost to the rear bumper bar. Got a little loose out of 2, which slowed his momentum down.
I'd argue the whole top 6 is all together, and Jason Romero has picked up the wick here. Jason Romero's up to 3rd now. That's a big move. Jason Romero's turning it up. I think he might be the fastest car on the racetrack right now.
John Moore made a little mistake out of 2 that time, putting the challenge on Carlos Vieira.
Contact.
Loosens up Carlos Vieira out of turn number 4.
That was pretty exciting there out of turn 4. Carlos Vieira is not going to like that this early in the race.
He is living the madness.
Well, we're living the madness with the Iron Man here as we're coming up on lap 40, 35 to go. And John Moore, I think he's going to have to show some patience here. The deal's not going to happen this quick. I wonder if he knows that the 8 car is coming.
Yeah, look at that, Jason Romero. Don't count Romero out. We've seen how fast Romero can be at Madera and probably hasn't had a lot of luck here at Madera.
Nope. His highest finish is a 2nd place here last spring. So it's been a year and a half since he's been on the podium here. And Jason Romero, I think when he starts to move forward, he's kind of the Kyle Busch, the Dale Earnhardt of our series, where when he starts moving forward, there's a little intimidation factor. And for how good John Moore is, he sees that 8 lumen large, and I think he knows that that bad news is coming here with the 8 car.
Carlos is having to hustle that Campbell Motorsports prepared number 51 because I tell you what, that 27 is on point right now. And I tell you what, I think John's just sitting back there, although John knows that 8 is coming and coming fast right on the back bumper bar of John Moore now. So Carlos, not only does he have to deal with John Moore, he's going to have to deal with Jason Miro before this is done.
This is a really exciting race. The brake rotors are glowing on Carlos Vieira's car. They're about to put a lap on Mike Buehler, which is a massive surprise for our defending series champion, just missing just a little bit tonight. What a race up front. This is why we love the PCS. They have enough car, they have enough tire to really battle, to really search around on the racetrack. They're doing this at a very high rate of speed, running lap times in the 14 seconds as they battle, which is awfully, awfully quick, below the RPM Mortgage Pro Late Model track record times. John Moore makes contact with Vieira again here on lap 46.
Good racing, though. John Moore lets him go, but Jason Romero now has seen that Moore is hooking up Vieira. So what's happening is the brakes are glowing on that 8 car too, really badly.
Tough break for Dave Bird. The Birdman is slow on the racetrack, and we'll see if he can stay out there. It looks like he's going to dip to the infield.
Yep, the 17-time champion pulls to the infield.
Man.
But I tell you what a whale of a race up front. Here we go. John Moore now to the inside of Vieira. Vieira's getting good drive out of turn number 4, and that's where it is all counting on the racetrack right now. Carlos, that exit of turn 4 is perfect. Moore sets him up going down into 3, but when you get out of 4, look, Carlos pulls away.
Well, and this has kind of held these guys up because look who's coming. The whole rest of the field, the whole top 6 are right back together again. And when you can go green this long, we've been green since lap 12. To be green this long, this time by 39 laps under green, and the top 6 are still virtually nose to tail here at Madera Speedway, and lapping the 6 car of Buehler is probably going to throw a little monkey wrench in this.
Yeah, you said Buehler's car was a little off. I would say it's a lot off, and he is holding up this lead back. Buehler's going to have to go up the track and let these cars pass him down the back. We drive deep into 3. Here we go, Carlos on the inside. We're going to go single file for a little bit here as we get past Buehler. It is Carlos Vieira, John Moore, Jason Romero, Cole Moore, and Matt Scott. That's your top 5.
Yeah, Matt Went has been shuffled back to 6th, and actually the top 5 have pulled away by a couple of car lengths on him. So I think the top 5 have really established themselves. Now the question becomes, who among the top 5 can win this race? Remember I said earlier in pre-race that if we got a lot of green flag laps, it benefited Jason Romero. Well, who's turning up the wick after a long green flag run? Jason Romero. After 43 laps under green, he is right there in the catbird seat.
Yeah, with 20 laps to go right now, 55 down, 20 to go. And like Steven said, Jason Romero has to find a way past the 27 of John Moore. Right now, Carlos Vieira's biggest friend is John Moore, because John Moore is holding out the 8 car, and I believe the 8 car is definitely better than the 27 of Moore.
This is about as exciting of a stock car race as you're going to get here. And I'll tell you what, I have absolutely no idea out back who's going to come out on top. It's basically a 5-car race, and they're all showing their hand right now because you never know when the cautions are going to come, and that's going to reshuffle the deck. So you need that track position here. 17 to go. John Moore, I think, out of everybody, he's been sliding around a lot. For him to be hanging in there ahead of Jason Romero, that has taken a lot of tenacity. And for the 51 of Carlos Vieira, we still don't know if he has shown his whole hand here tonight. The best battle is for second.
Yes, it is. The best battle is for second. Like I said, Carlos Vieira's best friend right now is John Moore, even though John is right behind Carlos. Like I said, holding that 8 car out. Oh, Romero went to take a peek. John Moore scrambles to the inside. John Moore sideways out of turn number 2. That's allowed Carlos to pick up about half a car length going to the 3. Moore closes, but out of 4. Again, Carlos, it's Moore halfway through 3 is the better car. Getting out of the turn, Carlos is getting more wheel down on the racetrack and able to drive out of the turn.
John Moore took away the bottom coming out of turn 2 that time, and we almost had contact into turn 3 because Romero was right there, and they did a great job not to make contact. But while they did that, it gave Vieira a car link. So John Moore has gone off of offense, and now he's going to defense here as we got ourselves 12 laps to go. They are going to come up on the lap car of Tyler Herzog here, and we'll see if Herzog impacts things at all, as I'd hope he gets pretty far out of the way in that Crown Homes Toyota, because this is a whale of a race. Here goes Romero once again.
Yeah, John Moore, I think John's car was moving around the racetrack a lot. I think John's in trouble as Romero now gets the inside of John Moore. Here we go. This is not going to be good for John Moore. Romero charging hard. Moore's up the racetrack. Now, I tell you what, Stephen Blakeslee, we say that Carlos' car is better out of 4. If this comes down to the last lap, I would rather my car get out of turn 4 than get quicker through the middle of the turn. Albeit John Moore will get a shot at Carlos and try and loosen him up, but I still would like a car that's faster out of the turn.
Earlier in this race, the outside was the preferred line. When Romero put John Moore upstairs, I'll tell you, John Moore has come to life a little bit here. He's getting a real nice run out of turn 2, what you like to call the slingshot out of turn 2, and he is managing to fend off Romero. But as they keep this up, it's allowing Carlos Vieira to pull away, and Romero will be credited with second here on lap 68, but he's down to only 7 laps, and he's got about 3 car lengths to make up. So, Romero's on kill now. Look at the way he sailed into turn 3.
Yes, he did. He sailed in there, picked up a car length on that lap. So it's 2 car lengths now. Carlos Vieira, the Allied Packaging 5150 energy drink car, leading that number 8 of Jason Romero. I tell you what, wow, Jason Romero has broken the shackles of John Moore. Now Moore is under pressure possibly from his son, and they are going at it like, here comes Romero, closes up. Is it the same thing with John Moore? Yeah, Carlos is getting out of 4 really well, but not so good getting into the turn.
Well, Carlos Vieira has more horsepower, so it makes a lot of sense that Vieira can roll that, but Romero has the weight break. So you're seeing that play out to a textbook T here at Madera, arguably our fastest racetrack, and you're seeing that. The horsebook Vieira can kind of out-horsepower him down the straightaway, and then Romero sails into the corner. It's almost like our mini cups versus Bandoleros here at Madera. As we're coming up this time, we've only got 2 laps to go. 2 more trips around Madera. Romero's done waiting. Yep. He wants to take away the outside from Vieira.
Yes, he does. They're getting to the final lap. The white flag about to be displayed. Carlos goes way up the racetrack. Here comes Romero. 1/3 of a mile to go. Who's going to win this thing? Will it be Carlos Vieira or will it be Jason Romero down the back? They drive it into turn number 3, Stephen Blakeslee.
The brake rotors line up. They make contact. Romero tries the crossover. This is going to be a big win as Carlos Vieira takes the victory here in PCS round number 6 for his 3rd career PCS win.
Yes, he does. Carlos Vieira takes the win from Jason Romero. Then we got the 27, John Moore, the 20, Cole Moore, and rounding out your top 5 is Matt Scott. Great drive by Matt Scott for a top 5. Wow, wow, wow. What a great drive tonight by Carlos Vieira. Carlos getting another win at Madera. Carlos. We'll go to break when we get back. Stephen Blakeslee, we're down in victory lane with a very, very happy Carlos Vieira tonight.
Work, live, play. 5150.
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series at the Madera Speedway.
Time with friends. Family. Memories being made. We live life for the amazing moments. We live by the motto that life is one nice ride.
Well, on a hot summer's night in Central California at Madera Speedway, that was an awesome PCS race tonight. A lot of back and forth passing between the top five. Carlos Vieira edges out Jason Romero, and a fantastic two last laps will go down to victory lane with Stephen Blakesley.
Well, you really can't beat that. Carlos Vieira gets his third PCS win here in Madera, and he does it against the points leader, Jason Romero. How tough was that one? You really earned that one tonight.
Yeah, thanks. That was very tough. You know, Jason, he's a great racer, and I was racing hard, to stay in front of him. And just want to thank my team, Byron Campbell Motorsports. They do such a great job. The car's been good all weekend. We set fast time, and just having a blast. These guys out here are racing hard, and I love racing with them.
How hard is it to pace yourself when the competition level is that high all throughout the race? You guys were green for about 50 laps, and they were still right on top of you.
Yeah, my spotter Brian, by the way, thank you, Brian. You did an awesome job. I was just listening to him, read off the times and trying to save a little bit if I could, but I didn't have much time to save anything because those guys were coming hard, and so it's a lot of tough racing, and it was great. I had a great time.
What an awesome performance. Carlos Vieira gets his third PCS win, and it happens right here at Madera Speedway.
Well, what a fabulous night of racing at Madera Speedway tonight. We really want to thank you for watching. We want to thank all of our sponsors. In particular, Nice Ride, oneniceride.com, 805 Beer. I'm sure we're going to go down now and have an 805 Beer. I want to thank Nut Up Industries with those chopped nuts, RPM Mortgage, I Paul, You Paul, and of course, 5150 Energy Drink, and that One Nice Ride, that great apparel company from Southern California. For Kenny Shepard and all the crew here at Madera Speedway, all of our staff, Stephen Blakesley as well. I'm at Outback Andy. Thanks for watching Madera Speedway live on Facebook and YouTube tonight. We'll see you at the racetrack real soon, and keep watching MAV TV for our Madera racing programs.